Again, this is Benjamin Johnson, and I'm going to give you an introduction to the Big Six Project. What is the Big Six Project, or what is Big Six? It is a research process that uses the high school senior project as a cornerstone for what you're doing. When you get in high school, you're going to have a senior project, and you're going to have to follow these basic steps. It's a little bit more intricate, but for right now, Big Six is just an introduction to how you do some things, and we'll talk about those in a second. The goal for this session is to pretty much introduce you to the Big Six steps and the process behind the Big Six. First, step one, task definition. Basically, you're going to ask yourself, what am I supposed to do? What is my topic going to be? Sometimes it's going to be, it'll be given by the teacher. Sometimes you can choose it. I know in my case right now, I'm letting you choose your topics based on what we've gone over the 8th grade curriculum. But sometimes I've done it in the past where you assign students the topic and let them research from there. Step two, information seeking strategies. You have to ask yourself again, and you'll see these questions throughout each step. Where do I find my sources? How do I evaluate them? Right now, we have a form that I will give out to you, or you might already have, that is going to help you evaluate your sources. It's going to be a lot of questions to prompt prompt your thinking. So the question is, where do I find my sources? Sometimes teacher will narrow them down. Sometimes they'll just turn you loose and let you go research yourself, whether it be public library, school library, provide technology, internet access, so you can kind of surf the web and try to get those. And sometimes the teacher will narrow them down to certain websites that you need to use or different sources that will pull those for you and have them in a location where you can access it. Some sources that I have and you'll usually have is, like I said, the internet, public library, and primary sources. Okay. Step number 3, location and access. Where are the sources? How do I cite them? I know in my class right now, I have a website, a resource that you can click on the school website where you can create a bibliography page. Bibliography page is very important because it gives credit to the people that you got your information from. It gives them credit. Everybody wants to get credit for what they do, even you. So therefore, always work on a bibliography page and don't wait till the last minute to do it. Where are all the sources? Like I said, we'll have those sources. Sometimes teachers have those sources. They'll pull them for you and have them narrowed down. Sometimes it's like a free-for-all. They let you go out into the vast wilderness to pick up your resources. Step 4, uses of information. How do I get the information into a note format? Some teachers will have you take notes, and that's one of the things you can do in this process. And the reason I want you to take notes is because you can use those note cards to make your presentation. Now, there are some formats for you. There are some things that you can do to get that format. And like I said, that's up to the discretion of the teacher. But basically, the note format is could be cards, could be note cards, could be, posted on something, could be a lot of different ways. So that's up to the discretion of the teacher. Almost there. Step number 5, synthesis. Anytime you hear the word synthesis, you want to pull it all together. I always say it's like making a cake. You take your eggs, you take, your cake mix, you take all that stuff and you put it together and you want that product, that cake. So the questions or the comments is, I've got all these facts now. How do I pull them all together? That is the challenging part. You pull it all together and make it flow into one finished product. And who is my audience? Sometimes for your senior project, usually it's a panel of teachers. If you do this, it is a classroom. It could be a panel, could be, your classmates. It could be just that teacher one-on-one. So either way, you got to realize who your audience will be and kind of gear your presentation toward them. Step number 6, evaluation. Evaluation is like your reflection. You evaluate everything you've done and how can you make it better. It's all about self-improvement. You always want to be better than you were the first time. I'm not going to require you to be perfect the first time, even though we're going to shoot for it. But I know this is an introduction, and some of you have not had this before, some of you have. But the evaluation is simple. What should I have done better? Should I have researched better? Should I pull together more resources? Should I have done, the bibliography different? There's a couple different things you should be doing and should have done at that point in time. Now, the next thing, what could the teacher have done better? Okay, a lot of teachers like to omit that question. I don't, because I know I'm not perfect, even though I try to be. And I would like to know, what could I have done? Could I have, and you need to be realistic. It couldn't be, well, I wanted the teacher to research it for me, or I wanted the teacher to put the resources in front of me. What is something I could have done better in the presentation? Is it something I could have given you, something that could have helped you, or something that you really did not use? So you can take it out and I can implement something else in that plan. Like, for example, I have a screencast that you should see called the edit strategy. Well, did it work for you? Or did it not work for you? Let me know so I can take that out. How can this be improved? In other words, this is not a clear-cut standard. Here's what it is. Each school, you take it and critique it your own way. I know when I was at West Iredell Middle School, 6th grade, I kind of took and watered it down for my 6th grade, whereas for my 8th grade, I required just a little bit more. Because 6th grade, you can work on it in 7th and 8th grade, but when you go into the 9th grade, you pretty much have to get on with it. So that's pretty much how it is. So that is the end of this presentation. I will upload this so you can monitor it and look at it as much as you need to. And I thank you very much for your time.